Meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We shall have roll call, please, Carolina.
Councilmember Dolan,
Yes.
Solby, Miller, Gullickson,
Yes.
Mayor Wallace.
Yes. Well, welcome to everyone. And once again, like every other meeting, we will start with Mayor Waller's thought for today, or quote for the day. Today I selected a quote from Tony Dungy. For those of you who don't know who Tony Dungy is, he was a coach in the professional football NFL, and he also is a UMM alumni. Some people probably may not know that. Played quarterback for the Gophers for 1975, 1976. He has a message for us. Be positive. Your mind is more powerful than you think. What is down in the well comes up in the bucket. Fill yourself with positive things. All right, well, we have a couple of, before I get into the agenda for tonight's meeting, I'd like to turn the floor over to our city manager, Johnson, and I'd like to have her say a few words, so people probably have an opportunity to learn just a little bit more about you.
Yeah.
So the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. My name's Zoe Johnson. I am originally from Ada, Minnesota. It's about 45 minutes north of Fargo. Small town of just 1,700 people, but I have spent the last 4 years living in much larger cities, so I'm very fortunate and excited to be back in rural, small town USA. So I'm just very grateful at this opportunity to be Morris's city manager. Prior to this position, I worked for the city of Moorhead, Minnesota, before branching out and moving down to Kansas to get my master's in public administration. And at the same time, I was working part-time for the city of Olathe, Kansas in their infrastructure department. And then after that, I moved on to work for the city of Edina for a little over a year and a half as their city management fellow. So yeah, I have been living for the last year and a half in Minneapolis. Very excited to be moving to Morris, or to have moved to Morris now, and on my 9th day on the job, and everybody that I have met and have chatted with has just been very kind, supportive, and gracious, and just excited for me, just as I am for this new role. But I just appreciate everybody for helping me get through this onboarding process and getting me up to speed as quick as I can so I can hit the ground running for the residents of Morris as best as I can. But thank you.
Well, and we're excited and happy that you're here also, Zoe. It's a historic day again for us, another city manager, and of course, let the new era begin. So it's exciting stuff. We also have another new position that we filled, and our tourism coordinator is in the audience, so I would like to have Brandy come up at this time and maybe just say a few words, stand up to the mic, so maybe people in the listening audience can get a chance to learn a little bit about who you are.
Well, I am vertically challenged in addition to, to many other things. So I grew up in the just north of Dallas, Texas, and that's where I met my husband, had my kid, and then we learned small town life because my husband was pursuing small town radio, because that's where you get your best start. He is the operations manager over the radio stations, so we have a good working partnership. And yeah, I'm really excited to be here, and Morris is the tourism coordinator. My goal is not to change Morris in any way, but just to uncover the gems that she already has and help them shine their best.
Thank you, Brandy, and welcome to Morris, and we're glad to have you on board also. All right, we shall move on now then to approval of tonight's agenda, and I will entertain any additions or corrections by members of the council, and if there are none, I'll entertain that motion to approve.
I'll move approval of the agenda as is.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve tonight's agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have no one that had asked to approach the council tonight under our citizens' comments portion. And we also have no public hearings. So we shall move on to our approval of our regular meeting minutes from March 24th, 2026.
I will move approval of the regular minutes from March 24, 2026.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve our regular meeting minutes from March 24th, 2026. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And then we shall move on to our condensed version of those same minutes from March 24th, 2026. And I guess I can move approval of the condensed version of the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay. Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the March 24th, 2026 condensed version of the minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, moving right along, we shall move to our next item, which is our consent agenda, which tonight consists of the audit of city bills, gambling reports, application for exempt permit, the Assumption Church, raffle license report, a Morris Transit report, pay estimate number 7, Project 1 Construction, Inc., Morris Liquor Store, and last item G is City of Morris Park Board minutes from March 3rd of 2026. And I guess I can move approval of the items on the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All right, thank you. We have a motion and a second. I'll bring it back to the council for any discussion on any of the items listed there. I just happened to look at late item 60 when I was going through this. It looks like we made our final payment for our jetter in the amount of $99,680. So it looks like we're the proud owner of that jetter officially.
Yeah.
That thing gets used a lot.
Yeah.
It's a nice piece of equipment.
What does the jetter do?
Well, we use it in our cleaning out the lines in our storm sewer. So yeah, it's a pretty important piece in our
For sure.
arsenal, so to speak.
Mhm.
So I don't know, was there any other items that anybody had any discussion about, or? Okay, hearing none, we have a motion and a second to approve of the items on our consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We shall move on then to our petitions, requests, and communications. The first item before us is a tourism board marketing recommendation. Let's see. You know, Zoe, if you were at the last tourism board meeting, weren't you?
Yeah, Brandy and I both were actually.
Yeah, and maybe if you want to speak to that recommendation,
Yeah,
I'll
happy
just
to.
turn it back over to you.
Yeah, so we received 2 applications at the meeting for the tourism board on the 7th. Those were Cream of the Crop Fly-In, which is going to be the second year, I believe, that they host that event, and then Music in the Park series, which is from the chamber. With that being said, the tourism board is recommending that the city council pass a motion to support Cream of the Prop fly-in at that tier 1 rate, and then for the Music in the Park series, support the marketing request at the tier 2 rate, and that Music in the Park series will actually be 3 separate dates throughout June and July. So, yeah. I think that's all to say, I suppose, on that.
All right, any questions regarding the tourism board marketing recommendations?
The difference between tier 1 and tier 2 is, what
So-
media they're
Yeah, so
posting on?
tier 1 is up to $6,500, and then tier 2 is up to $4,000. So it's about $2,500 difference there, just for funding support. And then I believe there's a few more outlets that we are marketing that event out to in tier 1 as well. So tier 2 includes social media ads, blog, and digital print, but tier 1 includes social media ads, blog, digital display, OTT, YouTube, SEM, print, radio, and TV. So. And
If
Cream of the Prop will be on the anniversary of D-Day, I believe.
If you're
as
gonna
well.
try to reach more people, it's gonna cost you more money.
Right, exactly,
All
yeah.
right. Any other discussion?
I feel like we'd be letting Jeff down if we didn't mention that this is coming out of the lodging tax budget.
Yes,
He always has to do that.
that's great.
I love it.
Thank you for stepping up.
Yeah, fulfilling the right-hand man.
Yeah,
It's probably
I love
already in the minutes.
it. All right, any further discussion? Two good events, I think, so. I'll move on the tourism board marketing recommendations.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the tourism board marketing recommendations. I'll just ask for a voice vote on that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now we have Prairie Harvest Fest support for fireworks and games. And I guess maybe Zoe, you want to just touch on that one too?
Yeah, happy to. So this is a bit of an interesting one. So I believe in the past practice for fireworks and games for Prairie Harvest Fest was to use lodging tax. We have now recently learned that lodging tax is only supposed to be used for marketing events, not for supporting different activities at the events themselves, such as games and fireworks. So this is going to be a shift in funding sources for 2026 only. Blaine and Whitney had deemed that there was sufficient funds in the, I believe it's 5% tax that is used for general fund uses in any kind of way the city deems necessary. So fulfilling that funding from that pot of money, as well as a bit of contingency funds that the city hangs on to for moments like these, where it's just, something comes up, we learn something new, so we just want to shift the allocation around just a little bit to make sure that we're complying with our lodging tax requirements. But yep, and then we've got the two winning bids in there for the Green Froggy package, and then, or for the games, excuse me, and then the It's a Blast fireworks in there. But
Well, we know it's one of our largest community event we have, so it's nice to get in there and support it.
I'll also say it seems like it's really been gaining momentum again since it's really been coming back. So, and stuff like this is what helps get the families out there and people of all ages too.
Well, and while we're talking about it, and just a shout out too for anybody out there that wants to get involved. Zoe and I were at the Prairie Harvest meeting the other day, and they are desperately seeking help. They have gone way over and above. This is not a Heartland event. It is a Community of Morris event. So I just want to make sure that people know and understand that. that, you know, there's, hopefully there's not a mindset out there, well, we're just gonna let Hardin worry about it, because that's really not the case. It's our event, it's our community, and so anybody that wants to get involved, certainly contact Geraldine out at Heartland, and she'll put you to work. Any further discussion on that? Okay. I'll entertain a motion if there's no further discussion.
We're just allocating different pool of money, is that what the motion would be?
So, I
Yeah,
believe
pretty much.
recommending that the city council make a motion to use unallocated city funds in the amount of that $7,004.82 to provide fireworks and games support for the 2026 Prairie Harvest Fest.
Having said that, I will move on that precise motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the Prairie Harvest Fest support for fireworks and games. And once again, I'll ask for a voice vote on that. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item up is Morris Fire Department donation. Let's see. Yeah, this donation was made in memory of Rob Ewell in the amount of $20. I guess I'll move on that donation.
I'll second.
All right, thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the donation to the Morris Fire Department in honor of Rob Ewell for $20. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And I don't know if the donor was listed there, but whoever it was, thank you. Appointments to Park Board. Let's see. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, Zoe, you wanna just touch on that one for a second? We actually only have one opening, right?
One.
Yep, just one.
And then we have two that are seeking,
Correct.
okay.
Yeah, so, so as it stands, there's two interested residents to join the park board, Debbie Stark and Morgan Peach, sorry, apologize.
That's okay.
So, yes, being that it is, council's role to fulfill those vacancies by making a motion and appointing them for, I believe it's 3 years term, by the boards and commissions guidelines there. We'd just be looking for a motion or a discussion to chat about who you'd like to appoint in that role. And then the park board just asked that we make sure that we thank Councilmember Dahlin for serving in that role on park board, and then also thank Councilmember Miller for his year serving in that same role to the park board. But yeah.
Well, I'll bring it over to the council for discussion. Be honest, I don't know Morgan Peach. I should, but I don't.
Yeah, so I can give a little background being the park board rep. Debbie is here, and I see, and she expressed interest right away at my first meeting when I came as a city council rep. She's a master gardener, I believe, and is very interested. And then Morgan Peach also indicated that she was interested. She's married to Jason Peach's son, Tanner.
Oh, okay. All right, now
And
I got it.
they have, I believe she works at the hospital, and they
Okay.
have 2 young kids.
Now I got it connected. Thank
Yep.
you.
That's her. I believe she's originally from Appleton.
Okay. All right.
It's always nice to have people step forward to fill these roles.
It's a good problem to have
Mm-hmm.
more people interested than there are spaces available for.
Mark was a little, you could tell he's a little
Yes.
shook because he's never had more than one person interested in a single opening. With that, also a little bit of context, I recently learned, I believe we'll be having another opening on the park board coming up this summer. Sounds like the Karras family, Haley Karras is on the park board currently. It sounds like they're moving.
Oh,
So there will be another opening in the summer, I believe, from what I've heard.
alright.
But yeah, it's great to have interest in the boards.
Sure is. Very important.
I'm gonna go ahead and nominate Morgan Peach for the role of this park board at this time, for the open seat.
I'll second that.
All right. We have a motion and a second to appoint Morgan Peach to the park board. If there's no further discussion, I'll just ask for, we'll just do a voice vote on that as well. All those in favor of appointing Morgan Peach to the park board signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, and I'm sure, will you reach out to Morgan then and let her know?
Yep,
Okay.
happy to.
All right. And hang in there, Deb. Sounds like there might be another vacancy forthcoming. All right. All right, is that,
Yep, that's all.
I'll
She'll
do
be
that.
appointed for a 3-year term.
okay? All right, we'll move on to ordinances and resolutions. We have, the first resolution before us is a resolution approving MnDOT Capital Vehicle Grant Agreement number 106-1150 for a propane transit bus. And I'll let Zoe speak to that one if you would, please.
Yeah, so chatting with Blaine, chatting with Whitney, chatting with Talitha, it sounds like this has kind of been a long process to go through. So just to speak, and I'm sure Blaine and Talitha could probably speak better about the context or the background of this, but so originally Morris was chosen as the first city in the state to receive a rural transit bus that would be fully electric, which would be wonderful in this climate. Which was originally why we were chosen, right? Because of that cold climate, to have a little bit more of an experiment with how that technology would work. But the vendor that we originally went with to build it all for us wasn't able to make good, I suppose, on a reliable electric system, and so they opted out of that contract. So in conversation with the state, they were able to agree to substitute the electric system for a propane system. So then they sent us documents over to get that switch figured out, and then have a little bit more background information about that kind of substitution for those different systems. So there's more examples of propane being a proven system in the state. Morris Area Public Schools is one of them. And then again, some more background on this. It's a fully funded federal and state grant project, which is amazing. 80% federal and then 20% state. That's that split. But yeah, it is too bad that tech isn't around quite yet for those small transit buses, but it is available for those Morris Area Public Schools, those larger type transport buses. I think there's also some background for the original grant agreement that was put in the packet, so that's available if anybody would like to take a look at that and learn more about it. But I don't know, Talitha, or if you, okay, sounds good.
Perfect.
Okay. Thanks.
Well, I think it's great that they were able to just substitute that electric system for the propane system.
Yeah, it's nice that we were able to get something out of it, at least after,
Right.
our
That's been kind of a
contractor.
process, to say
Yeah,
the
it
least.
sounds like it. I've been
Yeah.
trying to get up to speed on it. So it's been really nice to have folks with that institutional knowledge to be able to coach me up on it.
And the school has had pretty good luck with the propane, I understand.
I believe so, yeah. It sounds like they've been having a lot of success with it. So,
All right. Well, would there be any other discussion on that resolution?
I will move on that resolution approving MinDOT Capital Vehicle Grant Agreement number 106-1150, substituting for a propane transit bus.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second approving the resolution for the MnDOT Capital Vehicle Grant Agreement number 106-1150 for a propane transit bus. And I guess Caroline, I'll ask for a roll call vote on that resolution, please.
Councilmember Solby, Dolan,
Yes.
Goldson,
Yes.
Miller, Mayor Wallers.
Yes. All right. We shall move on to a resolution approving quiet title APL Holdings. And once again, Zoe, I'll just bring it over to you if you want to touch on that one for us.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I can
Yes.
discuss that. This is simply a quiet title action, meaning that APL Holdings is seeking to perfect their title to the parcel that they bought, of course. We're talking about the Vero Ford property. It appears that they noticed some defect in the way the property was originally described, hence the quiet title. City was served, and they're simply asking for our agreement. So that is what the stipulation in the packet is for the city to simply sign among
Okay.
everyone else who potentially could be affected, the state, the county, adjoining landowners. Obviously, any one of those can object or require them to prove that this is a valid action, but in checking with the county recorder, we did not discover any city property interest that would be affected. So I recommend through the council to simply approve the stipulation,
Okay.
and we do have a resolution to that effect.
And that's the garden lots addition to the city of Morris.
Yes.
All right. I'm not familiar with APL Holdings, but obviously you are.
I think that would just be the actual property owner.
Okay.
Right.
All right. I guess makes sense. Any questions for our city attorney on that resolution? It's just going to clarify things a little bit. Is that kind of the takeaway from all of this?
Correct, and I mean, yes, there's no reason for us to dispute this in court when we have nothing to
Right.
dispute. So
Okay.
this is simply the most efficient way forward from the city perspective. I can tell you the county is already approved.
Okay. Well, hearing that, I guess I'll move on that resolution approving quiet title APL Holdings.
I'll second.
All right, thank you. Any other discussion before we put it to a vote? Hearing none, I'll ask for a roll call vote on that resolution. Please, Carolina.
Councilmember Miller, Goldson,
Yes.
Dolan,
Yes.
Solby, Mayor Wallers.
Yes. All right, our last resolution before us tonight is a resolution accepting a bid and awarding a contract for the 2026 street capital improvements. And once again, Zoe, I'll have you maybe speak to that one too for us, please.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is an exciting one. So we had bids come in for 2026 reclaims much lower than what we were anticipating. Joe Riley Construction was the company that had the winning low bid. So we are recommending that the City Council move to approve and award that contract to Joe Riley's Construction Company in the total of $123,698.90. And then included in that resolution as well as the 20,000 for engineering costs as well, for more engineering, being our contracted engineering firm. We've got included in this packet item is the letter for the recommendation of award from Ryan Oden, our senior project manager that works with Russ and Ryan and I. So that's got more information on how the bids came in if you're interested in taking a gander at that. And then, let's see, I've got a memo here included as well that talks about the project area. So it'll be Columbia Ave from East 7th Street to South Street, and then also a small portion of West 5th Street. But to harken back to how low the bids came in, so we had 3 bids come in below the engineer's estimate, 2 that came in over. And of course, Joe Riley Construction was the winning bid there. But in conversations with Russ, our Public Works Director, he had chatted with me about, since we had gone through a public bid process, and we can discuss this more later, but because we had budgeted more in our capital improvement project fund for streets, maybe going through a change order later at another date to expand the scope to get more done in this time frame, being that we have the funds readily available to do that. It would just take a conversation with Joe to see if he and his crew would be agreeable to adding to the scope of that project. But yeah, I think for this, for the purpose of this item, we just want to approve the original bid as it came in for Joe Riley Construction. But yeah, and we can talk more. I've got a little bit more information on that in my newsletter if we want to talk a little bit more about budgets and whatnot. But that's all I have on that at this time. I can answer any questions.
Well, there was quite a spread between the Joe Riley's and $90,000 difference.
Yep.
So I really do agree with the thought process Russ is, and you have really discussed about, improving or expanding the scope of the work if we're there anyway.
Right.
And might as well take advantage of the low bid that we received. So that makes sense, and we can just deal with that, like you said, later.
Yep. Yeah,
If Joe and the gang agree to it. Yeah, glad to see that.
Yeah.
It's always good when bids come in low. They've been good partners over the years. Joe and Joe Riley Construction they do a lot of work for us. So
I'll move approval of the resolution accepting a bid and awarding a contract for the 2026 street capital improvements to Joe Riley Construction.
I'll second.
all right, thank you. There's no further discussion on that. I'll ask for a vote approving the resolution, accepting a bid and awarding a contract for the 2026 street capital improvement. And then I'll just ask for roll call vote on that, please. Carolina?
Councilmember Gullison,
Yes.
Miller, Solby, Dolan,
Yes.
Mayor Wallers.
Yes. Okay. We have our city manager's newsletter, and I'll once again bring it back to Zoe.
Thank you, Mayor. So, this is my first newsletter. That's the the first topic that I've got on there, being that I think one of the last topics on Blaine's last newsletter was that this was his last newsletter. So I thought that was a nice little handoff of the baton there. But I just wanted to echo again that it's been a wonderful first few weeks now, being 9 days in. But I just really appreciate everybody's kindness, generosity, and supporting me and help me get up to speed as best as I can. And just an extra shout out to Blaine. You have been an amazing resource to me, and I cannot thank you enough. And I hope that you continue to help me. I know you will, but I just have to say that because I know I've probably been texting you a lot, emailing you a lot, and I apologize, but thank you. And then just another little oddball thing here with the format of this newsletter. Blaine and I had chatted about this, but he had previously been running these newsletters through the Microsoft Publisher application, and Microsoft actually is not going to be supporting that application anymore, I think, at some point here in 2026. So I thought, you know, rather than me try and learn a program that's soon to expire anyways, I might as well just switch it over now here for my first one and try and get the council used to seeing it in a different format here. But I'm happy to chat with you if you'd like to see it in a different way or however, but just thought I'd let you know that. Some first connections is my next section here. Just been a lot of onboarding, trying to get out to these different board meetings, commissions, to introduce myself and get up to speed as quickly as I can. We've had, for some of the meetings, I suppose, Board of Review, Tourism Board, had Brandy tag along there with me for that, so that's been great. Park Board and SCEIC, still working on getting that one to roll off the tongue, I suppose, a little bit better than that, but we'll get there.
It won't. It just doesn't.
And then we also attended a Prairie Harvest Fest board meeting wherein I agreed to be a part of their board, as well as the Riverview Open House at the Armory just last week. So that was a great opportunity to learn more about their proposed West River Dairy expansion, and then just get to know more people in the community too. It was a good showing there, so it was a lot of fun getting to see all of the different faces in town there interested in that project. And then, yeah, last thing I'll mention under that item is just I'm hoping to set up a few times that is the intention behind these satellite city halls is to be outside of normal city hall hours and facilities. So that could look like me just asking Willie's if I can set up a table in the grocery store so I can catch people while they're just doing their grocery runs, or maybe going to the Tigers game to see if I can just set up a table maybe in a commons area around there to see if folks want to come and have a chat with me out there. Just the intention is to try and meet people where they're at a little bit better, so that maybe if it's difficult for them to come into City Hall, or if they'd rather chat with me in person rather than send an email, to just try and be around a little bit. And being that I'm new, especially, just getting my face out there and hope people know that I want to hear from you. I want to introduce myself, or just get off on the right foot here. So yeah, that's the intention behind that. And then, yeah, we can talk a little bit more about this idea, chatting with Russ if you'd like, about adding some scope to the reclaims bid project here. So working with more engineering, of course, so we'll know more about what a real budget will look like for this, but being that we've got the first bid come in, we feel pretty good about our estimates at this point. More engineering did let us know that bids are coming in lower than expected for cities and counties, so this will be a really great time, I think, for a lot of entities to be getting a little bit more done than what they're expecting, to get a better bang for their buck for their residents that way. So it would likely, this expanded scope of this project, it'd likely continue down Columbia Avenue. We think it would be estimating about from South Street then to Green River Road. But of course, you know, this is still early, so we want to keep in mind that the street is wider along that half a mile, but just trying to be a little bit more conservative about how we estimate that expanded scope. And again, because we went through a public bidding process that can be amended just through a change order that way, so that'll be nice, I think, for everybody, not to worry about any kind of headache that would go along with trying to change that had we tried to go about it a different way. And so, yeah, if Joe Riley Construction is agreeable to that amended scope, we'll continue entertaining conversations to see what that might look like for the city. So in total, where we're at with reclaims and mill and overlay projects right now, we're at about $143,698.90 for total cost currently for 2026. And so taking into account, we need to maintain some contingency funds in the budget. You know, if something does come up, we need to throw a little bit more money someplace. We've got roughly $130,000 we can still put towards this project scope expansion. So again, this is preliminary estimates about what we can maybe do now that we've heard back from the first bids, but we'll know more when we continue to work with more engineering, Russ and his guys, and then Joe Riley's construction team as well. But looking forward to bringing more information to you on that, hopefully pretty soon, because that is very exciting.
I imagine they'd have to get rolling on that if there's an, you know, because they had schedules they have to meet, and
Yeah.
if we all of a sudden ask them to do more,
Yeah.
they gotta be able to fit it into their schedules, so.
You know, I should knock on some wood, but I actually did hear that he was having a hard time finding work. Joe and his guys were, I know they still had 2 bids left that they had put in for that they hadn't heard back yet when I had heard that information, but you know, chatting with Russ, Russ had said that it doesn't seem like they would turn something like that down. They always just
That's
seem
good know,
happy
good to know.
happy to do whatever they can, but
I think it possibly could be good to hear from Russ and more about whether that area of the town is like something that would be needed improvement
Right.
in the next couple of years, or, you know, it just, you know, just because we saved money doesn't always mean you wanna spend it right away, but if it's
sure.
an area that is in need, then yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I really like the satellite city hall idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So I want to commend you for that. And, you know, I don't know if we need to take any formal action on, as a council, directing our city manager to check into this further, or if it'll just automatically happen. What do you think? You think it's
I-
something we need to put formally, like make a motion to give you direction to do
I
it, or
don't
you
think
just?
so, no.
gonna
I
do
think
it?
it's just best
Okay.
practice for the city trying to be as good stewards as possible as we can be, you know.
right.
So that'll include, you know, chatting with Russ and more engineering. And Ryan too, because it'll be important to see where the utilities are located for that extra stretch, just because we didn't
Okay,
do locates for that, at this point yet, but,
you guys okay with that too?
Well, and like you said, it would come through as a change
Okay.
order.
right,
at the
yeah,
end.
so it'll,
All right,
we'll approve it,
sounds good.
or, yeah.
Okay. Good discussion. And thank you for the background on that.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we had a motion and a second. Did we take action on that already? Vote on that resolution? I don't think we did we? The last one, or did we?
Accepting the bid?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep, we
Yeah, we did.
accepted the bid.
Just got,
That was
No,
got to
sorry,
talk.
it
oh,
was,
okay, yeah, I thought
I
we
didn't
did,
want to, I
but.
tried to try and keep it as separate as possible, because I was like, I don't want to bleed too much into it when we haven't even,
Okay,
haven't even,
all right, well, that was off of your city manager's
Yep,
newsletter, so
apologies.
it just took me back to line item C, and well, maybe I didn't do that, but we did. All right, so any questions from our city manager's newsletter before we move on?
No, just thank you for being on board. I've heard a lot of good things already around town, so it's great.
Good, thank you both.
All right, now we will just move on to our board updates. If anybody has information they'd like to share from the various boards they're on, now would be a good time for that.
I'd like to mention again that the tree board has the city tree giveaway coming up, and also the community planting coming up. Majority of that, or almost all of it, is going to be done at Genstead Park. So that'll be good. That's an awesome thing the city does, giving away trees and planting.
When
ones
is
as
the
well.
tree giveaway again?
I don't
Okay, sorry to put you on the spot.
That's
Is
okay.
that gonna be on like our Facebook or
Yeah.
wherever? So I
Yeah, we
think
can
it has
push it
been,
out on
yeah.
social, yeah.
I think maybe it has been, maybe also,
I remember it was in the minutes last meeting, but I
Yeah.
can't remember exactly.
sorry, the new guy on there.
That's okay.
What's the time, date, tell me what's going on.
Friday, May 15th, Saturday, May 16th.
Okay, thank you, thanks Carolina.
Well, I have some updates I guess I could share regarding the chamber board. We just had our meeting last week, and just we talked briefly about it, the music in the park. The dates are June 3rd, and the entertainment is going to be Rachel Ianero, I believe is how you pronounce that. And just wanted to let people know that that's going to be a free, in that event, there will be a free ice cream social, and that'll be courtesy of SCMC. So if you want to hear some music and eat some ice cream, June 3rd, that's the time. And then June 24th is the second event in June, and they're going to feature the Cheese Bots. I think they were there last year. And then on July 29th is the Rob Justice Band, and that happens to be Crazy Days, I think, July 29th. And then last item that we talked about at the chamber meeting was the UMM Welcome Picnic. They did change the date this year. It's going to be on a Saturday, August 22nd. So we'll have to see how that goes. We've always done it on a Monday before, so they wanted to try to do a weekend thing. So we'll see how that goes, if we can get people to support it. That sort of thing. I know retail people usually have booths and things set up there, so I'm not sure how that's all gonna play out, but I guess we'll see.
Was that kind of, did the retail people get involved in that then, to say, or is this just a change that was made and?
I'm not sure what the reason was behind moving it. I just think there was maybe more of a, to coincide with move-in day. It's kind of what I'm thinking, and then the parents for the students would be around, and, you know, because if you have it on a Monday, they're, you know, most parents have to work and stuff, so they're gone, so maybe just to kind of pull everybody in to enjoy a night out. I don't know. It's kind of the thought I think was that went behind it, but so hopefully we can get together and help support that. It is a big event, usually pretty well attended. So, and then you'll see the last item from the chamber is they got a couple of Beautify Morris campaigns going on. The large pots have been agreed upon and fundraised for. They're going to be rather large pots, to the tune of about, I don't know, $8,000. I think they fundraised for it. But they're expensive, big pots, and they're going to be. You'll see those coming out, and then also they have another smaller Beautify Morris campaign and hanging plants that are going to go out in front of each business. So there's a couple of things going on there to help beautify our main street. So that's all I had from the chamber. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add, or? No? Okay, that's it for board updates. Other business, I just wanted to point out sump pumps. I try to do this every year. Normally we shoot for April 1st. That's the date we like to have people switch their sump pumps around so they can take it out of your storm sewer going down in your basements. And then of course if you got the run outside, it helps take the pressure off of our storm sewer and so forth. So always weather dependent. Sounds like we're gonna have a little cold snap coming in this weekend, so see if that happens or not. All right, and then we'll move on.
I have a question under
Yeah.
other business. 7th Street, I noticed last weekend when they had that baseball tournament, you know, I know they narrowed the street down there by the ballpark. I know the discussion was back then too, that that's gonna really be hard on the parking, and it was hard to drive down there with cars parked on both sides. Is that eventually, when they put the last layer on there, gonna be a one-sided parking then? Or are we gonna, you couldn't get 2 cars down there, and then there, you know,
Yep.
if they were parked on both sides, and then if you were coming down that street,
You are absolutely correct, Kim, and you know, we did have that conversation, and that was a major concern of mine when we approved the length and width of that street. But what I learned was, because it was a state awarded project, they mandated the widths of that street. So we didn't have any choice. If we were gonna accept the bid award, we had to adhere to those widths. Now, I think you and I all know now, and I agree fully, it's an accident waiting to happen, and I'm concerned about that as well. I'm not sure
can we
what.
do a one-side only parking, or
I don't know how we can do it.
We post signs.
People are gonna be down below the hill if you go one side. And then I guess there's a limit to how far people are gonna walk, I suppose, but it's just unfortunate, you know, the state mandated that width. And, you know, if you think about it, they don't wanna give you any more money than they have to, so they made the road width narrower. Of course, it's less expensive to do a narrower road than a wider road. But I think we all talked about that, and that, I
Yeah,
think
I
most of
remember,
us voiced our
yeah.
concern way back before we actually accepted the
Mhm.
bid, and now, here we are.
Yeah. If council's interested, I can do a little bit of digging and chat with the state to see if we can limit the parking to just one side of the street.
And while it would be, you know, they'd be parking way down, it would still be safer than both
Right.
sides.
Yeah.
Especially after games when kids are running all
Yeah,
around.
and there
Right.
were a couple kids playing in their cars, you know, on the street, and I'm like,
Yeah. I imagine the conversation will be easier, being that we're looking to remove some access to the road rather than add access,
Yeah.
if that makes sense, or
Mhm.
parking access, Bappy. So I can reach out and chat with some folks at the state to see what that would look like. Being
Well, I think it's
sustainable.
really a good idea to at least have some conversations about it, cause you know, we wanna be proactive. The last thing we wanna do is have somebody get hurt or killed on that because of
well,
a
and can we,
parking thing.
if you park up around the Riley Ball townhomes, is that no parking up there? 'Cause, and then maybe put a crosswalk, so people park up there, they can walk across, and at least there's a
You might get some
designated-
pushback from the homeowners up there if you get a bunch of people parked out in front of their house.
Mhm.
I do know in the summer, like when there's Legion and softball and Little League going on there, you'll see a lot of people that will park in the Armory parking lot. And I wonder if you could, for like when there's a tournament or something, maybe you could get it proved that it's overflow parking or
Sure.
something like that. And then you're basically just parked in left field of the second softball field, because you do get a lot of people there for your big baseball, softball
Mhm.
tournaments. It's sometimes already last year you would have to walk quite a ways.
Mhm.
Well, I know a lot of people park in the Armory too and walk across. But
Well, just something to look into, cause it was, and I did get somebody complaining about that. And then I drove down there and it's like, oh, yeah, it's crowded.
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't know,
I can take a look.
maybe we'll start with just having the conversation about the one side of the street parking idea. You know, and I don't know, there's always shuttles. I mean, if you wanted to park in a remote area and offer a shuttle to the ballpark, I suppose.
Well, that wouldn't be our deal, that
Maybe-
would be, yeah. I mean, I just think that one-sided parking, most of our streets have one-sided parking, so it wouldn't be out of the norm to have one-sided parking.
Right. Okay. Let's go down that road first and see how how we turn out.
That sounds good.
And then my next thing is, does, Brand, do you have specific hours or not really?
No,
Zero.
So she's,
Okay.
20 hours a week.
yep.
Oh, I just wondered if like you were setting up shop at a certain time, if somebody wanted to come and chat with you, but no.
Anybody who wants to come and chat with me, set up an appointment,
Okay.
I'll be happy to be there.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Just gotta stick to those 20 hours. That's the only.
Yeah, I know.
So let them know when they come in, I've got only 10 minutes here.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
which one?
Friday, it's Friday, 19 hours,
Yeah.
go.
Thank you.
It sounds like we're gonna do a lot of chatting around here. I love it. Okay. Oh, informational items. I'll turn it over to Zoe. You have a couple things for us there, you said.
Yeah, and just to add to it, this should have been on my newsletter, but I just heard about this today, but wanted to let the council know. So one of our team members on the audit team has had an unplanned medical leave come up, so they are asking if we could push that audit presentation from the 28th of April to the 12th of May to accommodate that. So just want to let you know that. And then for city informational business, the City of Morris posted an official notice to all owners of property within the City of Morris about just weeds and grasses season's coming up, so just make sure you take care of your lawns so that you avoid getting any kind of nuisance letter or anything like that. But yeah, please reach out to the city if you have any questions about what this means, how to interpret it. We're happy to chat with you about it. And then additionally, the state of Minnesota asked us to post a warning about transporting firewood, being that Emerald Ash Borer is very serious and it is coming to Morris very quickly. It's amazing how they spread, actually. So just please be mindful about the type of firewood that you're transporting. I know the state has, I think, some official firewood that they kind of advertise about buying so that, you know, you can be a little bit more mindful and have peace of mind, I suppose, on the type of wood that you're bringing out to the lake or to your home or whatever it may be. But just wanted to push those two things out to folks.
Well, I think part of our agreement that we made when we approved that was to just not bring any wood into our city from beyond. I think that was part of our
Okay.
plan.
Well, I think there's like a couple of C-stores that have it, so it's authorized, though it's checked
Yeah.
and wrapped. And there is the one home that sells it. I don't know where that's coming from, or if they buy
Yeah.
specifically, they know it's ash-free,
I believe,
ash-war-free.
Yeah, we had
Liz
that
Morrison,
EAV preparedness
yeah.
thing that we approved, and I thought that was part of it, is trying not to bring firewood from beyond Morris and just burn it.
I know we discussed at the tree board meeting, Liz Morrison was at the Spring Expo handing out stickers that said, burn it where you buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, burn it where you buy it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, any other items to come before the council? Hearing none, meeting adjourned. Congratulations. First one done.
Yeah, feels good. It's like,
Oh, your parents can watch this one and say,
Yep,
"Ha,
they'll have-
you'll
they'll
get a
have
call
their
later
hands.
tonight.